So much for joining us on the program. Now, let's begin the conversation and have a public affairs commentator, also a chieftain of the People's Democratic Party, who is joining me virtually on the show this morning via Zoom from Abuja. I have the person of Goodluck Osarete, a member of the PDP, and also a public affairs commentator. Good to have you on the show this morning, Honorable Goodluck.
Yeah, good morning, if you can hear me. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right. First, can you walk us through how this whole issues in the PDP started? A lot of persons will tell you the whole problem began since 2023 after the 2023 general election. But give us a brief. You are an insider, so I'm pretty sure you have an understanding better than those of us on the other side of the divide who are not politicians. Walk us through.
Good morning to you and good morning to our viewers. It's a pleasure to be here this good morning. The crisis within the PDP didn't just start in 2023, but I think we saw a full glare of it in 2023. So I would say that the problem of the PDP actually started since 2015 when some group of persons, or for whatever reasons, the party decided to leave power in quotes. So that's when it started. But what we saw in 2023 was a situation where some people are deliberately decided to tear the party apart along the lines of ambition, political ambition. So that's exactly what we're still battling with today. No matter what it is, um, I believe those are personnel, dramatic personnel that were involved. Some are no longer in the People's Democratic Party, while some are there and they are still trying, they are causing serious problems, while others are also with the ruling government of the APC at the federal level. But they're trying to get hold of the party for their personal, or what I would call selfish ambition. So that's exactly what is happening. And again, you will see that even some of those that attempted to tear the party apart in 2023, some of them now have said that, look, there is need for us to reposition this party now. They want to take up the responsibility to take up, rebuilding the party and to put it in place. And that is where that interest, is still kind of, bringing up itself again. And from what we are seeing in the past days now, it is evidence that something is happening. And I'm pretty sure that solution is coming, that the PDP is going to reposition itself as a formidable position, because there's no, in democracy, the beauty of democracy is opposition, a formidable opposition. And why do you think that the PDP, because of this internal trouble, which is hinged on interest, and that has a direct effect on 2027? So that is why you are seeing this bickering, this something that looks like a gladiator combat, fighting for the soul of the party and all of that. So it all ties to 2027. And at the end of the day, you can imagine that a political party as big as the People's Democratic Party, somebody saying that he shouldn't feed a candidate because his interest lies somewhere else. So it will be most embarrassing, and it will be most disgraceful for the PDP not to feed a candidate. And I believe with a strong internal resolution mechanism, the PDP will be able to put itself back, to play the role of opposition. And you can see that since the election of the new ESCOs, the new National Publicity Secretary, the person of Ili Emebong, has been up to the task, putting the government on its toes and all of that. And that's exactly what opposition is supposed to do. And the ruling government should make sure that they allow the opposition to be able to strive and to, discharge its duties, not the way they are suffocating the political space, the political atmosphere. They are strengthening it with coercive force and all other political maneuvering to not enable the PDP to carry out its function as a formidable opposition. And by the way, no matter how you look at it, and no matter how you see it, no matter how you rationalize it, the PDP still remains the biggest opposition party in Nigeria as we currently have. And that is why you see that both forces from within and outside, they are fighting for the PDP not to get its fix. You know, to be able to stand and play the role of opposition. And I can tell you, where the party is happy that this is happening now, not very close to the election. And I'm pretty sure, before now till maybe early or middle of next year, everybody will know where they belong. And I'm very sure the crisis would have been resolved. So that is exactly what it is. Now, the cause of the crisis is multifaceted, but the cross of it, I mean the pivotal, the pivot of it is about interest, about individual interest. And of course, it is not new to everyone today that the FCT minister, the person of Oyeso Wike, fighting to get hold of the party, he has also declared his support President Tinubu for a second tenure in 2027. So you can imagine if you are in PDP, being a minister under the APC, you declare the support for APC. Ordinarily, one would have expected that, okay, since you have declared your support, allow the party to run itself, allow the party to also focus on its agenda in producing, uh, the presidential candidate, or let them deal with their internal dealings, instead of these coercive force, instead of this, brutal strategy to actually weaken the party, that is just the problem. Because if opposition cannot survive in democracy, then there shouldn't be anything like democracy. It will become a dictatorship. So that's exactly where we are. And the PDP, from the event we've seen so far, you saw what happened at Wadada Plaza, about I think 2 or 3 days ago. So you can see that yes, people are now saying that no, enough is enough. What exactly the problem is, So that is what you saw on that day. And sometimes, at some point in time, somehow the way to solve problem is to make it, you externalize it in form of causing more problem, so that everybody will now join heads to say now what exactly the issues are, what are we dealing with. That is exactly the problem, and I'm very sure the PDP will put itself in order to stand, as a formidable opposition to this current APC government. So that's exactly what is on ground right now.
Let me ask you,
Are
because
you still there, please?
we from this side of the divide, the media, we are seeing this issue as a show of supremacy, power, who should be in charge of the political party. Is that what it really is? Because it seems like the minister of the Federal Capital Territory on one hand want to hold the party while he is working for the ruling or progressive Congress. So he wants to be a lord in the party. Is this really a struggle of power between Nyesom Wike and other members of the political party? Because we've seen those who are loyal to the Wike's camp, who also held their NWC meeting. That was on Tuesday, the same day the new national factional, because we like to use the term factional. But at the end of the day, you guys will resolve your problem and you say it was internal political affairs. So let me factionalize it. The Wike faction and the Turaki faction. They also went to the secretariat, the Wadata Plaza, and they suspended some persons. It was a bit laughable to another camp. Is this issue in the PDP, is it a power struggle, or it is more than that?
So what we're saying right now, just like what you just said, it's a battle for supremacy. And who are these dramatic personnel fighting for the supremacy? And why do you think they are actually fighting for it? You know, it's about political dominance and supremacy for political interest. And by the way, if democracy was to function in a sane society, the Iron Group should have been arrested by now for constituting nuisance at the PDP National Secretariat for those their basic actions they carried out on Tuesday at the PDP National Secretariat. Because, the problem is that the PDP carried out a convention, and you and I know that by the Constitution, the convention is the highest organ making body, or the highest making organ of any political party. They went into a convention and they elected new ESCO, which INEC has recognized. So when you are still talking about faction in the PDP, you are not correct. It is not correct to say that there is still a faction in the People's Democratic Party. No. After the convention, those new elected ESCO they were going to Wadada Plaza to actually carry out their inauguration. And from nowhere, the Iron Group or the Wike sponsored group, you know, they scheduled a meeting, an emergency meeting. They won't call it an emergency meeting that same Tuesday. And that was what led to that fact and that fiasco you saw at Wadana Plaza. So it's just unfortunate. And at the end of the day, you ask, what is the interest of Oyeso Wike in this, the FCT minister? You have declared your support for Asiwaju, fine. You supported him, and we are in 2025 or from 2024. You have already declared your support for Asiwaju. Now you are saying that the PDP must not produce a candidate to challenge President Bola Tinubu in 2027. So you can actually see what is happening. And the President Tinubu, being a president under the APC or the APC, is even more interested to see that the PDP is unable to field a candidate. And that is the job Oyeso Wike is doing. That is why you see that they could even seal up the secretariat yesterday, because he's the FCT minister, the commissioner of police in FCT, will be answerable to him. And with all this, with the ruling powers influence, they'll be able to achieve certain things. But that is not ideal for democracy. So the greed of one person is what is actually trying to tear the party apart. And believe me, the PDP has gone through a lot of struggles. They've gone through a lot of internal crises, and as of today, they are still standing. And this phase will also pass by, So that's exactly what is happening. It is the ambition of Oyeso Wike to prevent the PDP from producing a candidate. And the PDP is so large. You see men and women, in the politics of this Nigeria. They piloted the affairs of this country. They have the experience of what party politics is, of what governance is, and they are saying that no, this cannot happen. One person cannot hijack the party and pocket the party, put it just for his own interest, not for the interest of the party. Now, you can imagine how disgraceful it will be for a big political party as PDP not to feed a candidate, and not because of any other reason, because of the interest of one man. Who want to just be a dictator over everybody, over the affairs of the party, and
All
it's
right.
been enabled by the ruling
Honorable
government.
Saiti,
So
let me pause you there, because I have another guest who is joining me, also a chieftain of the PDP on the program. Let's speak with him. Honorable Esusa Ewere joins us on the program too, virtually on the show. Good morning and good to have you, sir, on the program.
Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you, and thank you for having me.
All right, thank you for joining us. The PDP has been in how do I put it now? I'm looking for the right words to use that will not offend you, because you are a member of the PDP. But my question to you is: the PDP sick? Does it need medical attention in order to be able to survive? 2027 is just a few months away. Is your party ready for the job, the task ahead, with the whole call it internal crisis, call it factional crisis that is happening within the PDP? Is the PDP ready to be a strong opposition come 2027 after the show of shame that played out at the Wadata Plaza, the party secretariat, on Tuesday in Abuja?
Thank you so much, my brother, for that question. And very warm regards to my brother Goodluck, who has been doing justice on the matter. I think that the party is ready. If you see what happened at the convention in Ibadan, you understand that the party has just been redeemed from the shackles of political suppression. The state capture being sponsored by the Tinubu-led administration, using the FCT minister, who is a minister of the APC, but who still wants to hold on to the party, who still wants to hold on to the PDP. I think it all boils down to the idea of trying to suppress opposition and reduce Nigeria to a one-party state. And we have said that cannot happen. And you can see that the PDP, ably led by the new chairman Turaki, is being resuscitated, is being revived, and we strongly believe that the party come 2027 will be ready, will be more than ready to rally the vast majority of Nigerians to ensure that we bring a stop to these APC shenanigans. Because if you see what is happening, you'll be amazed, you'll be shocked at the the speed at which the APC is trying to reduce opposition in Nigeria, I don't think it's something that anybody should be happy about or celebrate about. So that is why you see the PDP is all out. The convention has been successfully done, and the first NEC meeting was held just after the convention. And you saw the charade that the APC is using a wiki to do. And thank God we were able to resist them. Thank God that the police was neutral, and we strongly believe that it will remain so, and the PDP will be ready by 2027 to rally Nigerians against the APC. I strongly believe that, my brother. I strongly believe.
Talking about the convention that took place in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, a lot has been said about that convention, that it was an illegal before I go back to good luck, let me ask you this. Because you made mention of the convention, I was going there, but let me, just ask now that the conversation is still on. Now, a lot of persons said that convention was an illegal convention, especially the weakest faction, because I will always factionalize. Even when you guys are saying there's no faction, we are the media. We don't want a situation whereby tomorrow they come and tell us, when you settle your scores, both the wiki and all, they will say that media house said, you understand? So we try to factionalize it. They said it was an illegal convention. A federal high court sitting in Abuja gave an order restraining that convention to hold. Why another state high court? We know that in law, a federal high court and a state high court have what we call the concurrent and coordinated jurisdiction. So they act side and side. They are of the same jurisdiction. They run down to the Oyo State High Court, and they sought for an order. The convention held by the statesman. Did you think that convention that produced Aminu Turaki as the national chairman and Meme Bong, the secretary who has been speaking in other media houses, I've seen his vibe and all that, was it illegal by law, illegal convention? Because we saw that the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, was not there. They did not monitor the convention. So can you say that was a convention, or it was just a gathering of some factional members who elected somebody?
Absolutely. That convention stands. And I must tell you that Turaki has been accepted as the elected national chairman of the PDP by the Independent National Electoral Commission, the body responsible for elections in Nigeria. That convention stands and is legal and is binding. So you can see the hiccups we are having a fallout from that convention. Their idea was that the convention should not hold. And taking that convention away from Abuja, before you could see that when parties do convention, particularly the PDP, you see police barricading the areas, barricading the gates, barricading the entrance and all that, and people are not able to access the venue. But this time it was an open situation. So the party members, party faithful were able to access. The convention held smoothly, and the processes of the convention followed due legal proceedings. So I strongly believe that the convention is legal, the convention is acceptable, and that INEC has also given its nod to the convention, gives it a very strong backing. And we strongly believe that the Turaki-led PDP will be able to rally Nigerians and rescue our dear country from the shackles of the APC, who is trying to slide Nigeria into a one-party state.
Okay. Now, are you guys not scared about this whole crisis, how it will affect your input? Because you know what the scripture, the Holy Book says, that a house divided against itself cannot stand. Are you guys not scared that the PDP is divided against itself, and there might be possibility of you guys not being able to stand in 2026, which is the penultimate year, to 2027, which is the election year? Because before you know, campaign will start. Now you are divided against yourself somehow. You guys are saying it's not faction, but that is how we see it from this end. Because tomorrow you might reconcile. The same minister might come tomorrow and say, okay, he has agreed to terms and conditions and all that. Don't you think if this continues, it's going to hamper your chances of campaign, getting members into your political parties? Because we've seen the whole defection that have trailed the PDP over the weeks. from the governor of Delta State, Sheriff Oboriwori, to the governor of Enugu State, Peter Mba, to the governor of Bayelsa State, the person of Senator Doyedri. There was supposed to be a defection yesterday by Agbo Kefas, also, no, Taraba State governor. But somehow he said he postponed it. Is this not, does this not call for concern for your party? That it seems like you guys are losing, your visibility to the Nigerian people. A party that has been there since 1999, the biggest political party in Africa, as you claim, but it seems like you are not being ridiculed.
Tinubu-led administration has focused more on politics 2027 over and above delivering the dividends of democracy as it promised in 2023. I would have thought that we will be focused more on governance, we will be focused more on ideas, reforms, developments. But that governors are leaving the PDP and joining the APC is also another big shame on the part of the governors. But you will not blame them. It is because they believe that Tinubu does not have the capacity to manage a fair and credible election. That under the Tinubu-led administration, INEC does not have the capacity to manage a fair and credible election. So you can see what happened in Edo in 2024, from the election to the tribunal and down to Supreme Court and all of that. So all of that, the governors have seen all that, and they strongly believe that under the Tinubu-led APC, you cannot have a fair and credible election, and that is an indictment on the government of APC and Tinubu. On the other hand, however, it is the people that own the party, not the governors. If you see the people that are leaving the PDP to join the APC, it is just the governors. The people who truly own the party are not leaving.
But they are going with their cabinet members and those even at the local level. We saw what happened in Delta.
Of course, they work under the governor. They are appointees of the governor. But it doesn't necessarily mean that they are leaving the party. They may be leaving the party in body, but in spirit they are with the party. You saw what was happening. I'm sure you are following events in Akwa Ibom State. That the governor, the pastor governor, has just suspended, sacked two of his aides.
His aide that did not follow him
because they attended the convention in the PDP convention in Ibadan. Even though they are APC, they are members of they are supposed to be members of the APC, just as the governor is. So it is the governors that are leaving the party, because they are scared, because they believe that under the Tinubu APC-led administration, you cannot have a fair and credible and justiciable election. That is why they are leaving, because many of them have to return. And you also know that many of them also have issues with our finances and all of that. But basically, that the Tinubu-led APC cannot ensure a fair and credible election. That is the reason they are leaving. And it is only them, the people, Nigerians, who are the true voters, who come out en masse on election day to cast their votes, are not necessarily leaving. Nigerians are looking for a party that is ready. Nigerians are looking for a party with vision. Nigerians
is the PDP ready?
For a party with credibility.
Is the PDP ready with the crisis?
The only party that has shown such readiness now is the PDP. Despite the hiccups here and there, the only party that has shown such readiness is the PDP. And whatever you are saying now is not new. The PDP has its way of going around these old issues and recovery and getting back on track. And that is what we are doing right now. 2027 is not far away anymore. So we have to organize, we have to galvanize ourselves, we have to find a way to rally other political parties, rally the rest of Nigerians at home and abroad, and send these APC guys out of the system, because you can see what is happening across the country. Terrorists have taken over the entire system. 11 communities in Igbobaha has been taken over by bandits.
Under PDP's administration, this was also happening then.
And it was happening, but it wasn't this much, and it was being checked. But this time it is not being checked. Okay. You don't even have policies and programs to fight insecurity. Administrations are run on policies and programs, and that's what we keep talking about every day.
Okay.
Your policies and programs must be clearly spelled out on the table, and you must be able to rally relevant agencies to tackle these guys. But in this case, you don't have policies and programs, you don't have a vision, you don't have a direction of where you are going. The only thing we see are press statements charging security agencies, condemning the killings and all of that. But it ought to go beyond that. There must be policies and programs to attack these guys. There must be policies
Okay.
and programs
Okay.
For Nigerians to be encouraged
Okay.
to be defended. And that is
All
what
right.
we are talking about. It is not just
Let, let,
about
let,
releasing press statements every day whenever these things happen.
okay, let me go back to Good Luck Usaretin before I come back again to you. Now, Good Luck, if you're still there, if you can hear me clearly, you heard Honorable Esusawere and all he have said. Now, my question to you would be, the whole issue of Wike is being used to destabilize the PDP. Is this the voice of Esau and the hand of Jacob, or the hand of Jacob or the voice of Esau, like the Bible is saying? Probably it is the it is the ruling party, like he alleged, that is using the minister of the FCT to destabilize the PDP in this nature. From your own perspective, or from majority of your members in the PDP, is that what is really happening? Is Wike using the state resources to capture the PDP? Okay, let me leave that question to you, Honorable Esosa. Please, can you throw more light on that question?
Good luck can hear you. I think Good luck can hear you. Good luck can
Okay,
hear you.
good luck. Did you hear the question I asked?
Question very well. I was just thanking my prof, Enwere Sosa. A very always a brilliant submission. You know, the thing is that just like the narrative you painted is true, whether the hands of Esau, the mouth of Jacob, and all of that. So that scenario is obvious even to the deaf. You know, the blind, I mean, even the deaf is audible enough to the deaf that Wike is using the instrumentality of the state. It's not like a tool in the hands of the ruling party, you know, to completely destroy the party, to destroy the People's Democratic Party. And that is exactly what they are doing. That's what they are using him to do. And if you tilt it to Edo State, in the last governorship election, you also have where the camp lawyer to Wike was used to do a dirty job and all of that. And even at the end of the day, you saw the narrative that, you know, the election was almost about Wike and all of that. So you could see that they're actually using him as a tool to destroy the party. And because of this, you see that even in Edo State right now, governance and the welfareism of the people have been grossly lackadaisized, you know, and they want a system where they will not be challenged, where they will not be put on their toes, where they will not be talked about. And that's what they are happy for. They want a system that is coaxed, you know. So not for the people, but for the greed of one man. So people are saying that no, this cannot happen. You know, we're in a democracy, this should not be allowed. Exactly what Ezosa actually said is that look, in Edo State today, you will see that there is no governance. You know, there is no governance on ground at all in Edo State because you cannot talk of governance and you have a governor in 2025 is more obsessed about the re-election of a president for 2027, even more than the president himself. You know, he's more obsessed about him being re-elected because he knows that his failures, you know, his many failures, his unending failures in governance is only going to be covered by the reading and brutal power of the ruling government to get him re-elected. So that is why you see all you are seeing today. It's a battle. And that is why you say that even the governors that are leading the PDP right now, are they living based on ideology? They're not living based on ideology. They are living based on the brute force that they believe that the ruling power at the center can use to ask them in 2027, come 2027. But they believe that they don't know or they even forgot that what happened in 2023 across board, it is no longer about the issue of the ruling party or who's in power, whether you're a governor or a president. You know, people actually revolted. And that is why what we saw in Delta State, where you have Senator Ifeanyi Okowa, who has been a senator, who has been secretary to the government, and a governor for 8 years. At the end of the day, they lost out in power. So you saw what happened in Abia and so many other states. So Nigerians are now saying that look, we are going to have a responsible system. We are going to take the destiny into our hands to in fact to actually provide solution to what is going to happen. So Wike himself, as it is today, the federal government is using him, the APC is using him, and what I know is that
But
they
that's
try
an
to
that's
call
an
this is where we
allegation.
are very facing.
It's an allegation. It's an
No,
allegation, alleged
no,
statement.
it's not an allegation. No, no, it's clear there's no allegation. If you look at it from the series of legal battles, court cases across the federation, it is always pointed to him. But you saw there was a time, the PDP National Working Committee, IAO and INEC, they were forced to go to the Supreme Court to actually interpret a judgment. And the Supreme Court has said that, look, this thing is an internal party affair. Go and use the internal party mechanism to resolve this. And in his wisdom, the Saraki-led reconciliation committee actually said that IAO should be reinstated. So at the end of the day, when you look at the litigations in court, those that never wanted the convention to hold, then you look at their interest. What is their interest? Their interest is that they want to get the soul of the party, hold it for their selfish interest, and then collapse it to Asiwaju in 2027. So you cannot allow that to happen. That's exactly what happened now. That's why the convention at Ibadan had a legal footing and it had a legal backing. In all ramifications, INEC has acknowledged that the party is now being repositioned. I believe that Kuraki, being a senior advocate of Nigeria, and with his experience in governance and in policies, even as a minister, with other other elected ESCOs, you will be able to deliver a formidable opposition. And like what is even happening in Edo State now, you can even see that the crop of ESCOs now you have in Edo State, and they are equally up to the task. You will see that the state publicity secretary, the president of Barrister Noah, you have the organizing secretary, Ogbedi Falisibo, and another of my great brother, what was it called, Iduboy, and this my prof too. You can see that they are keeping the space very active, putting the government on its toes, and that's exactly what the beauty of democracy is. But even Satan will agree with you today that the job Wike is doing it for his employer. The person that appointed him, that's the president of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who is in the APC, who has an ambition. So it's clear enough to say that yes, Wike is trying to destroy the Igbo Democratic Party. And as I always say, there shouldn't be any anger. Your anger should not get to the stage of you destroying your home. And at the end of the day, everybody becomes helpless, even himself. Because you cannot find comfort in the better place in the house of your opposition when it is raining or when it's getting so cold in night. So everybody should not be responsible. But let me tell you, the PDP is the only party in Nigeria today that in every nook and cranny of this country, you go to the world, you go to the villages, you go to communities, you go to cities and everywhere. The only party structure you can see, whether active or not active at the moment, is the People's Democratic Party. So the leaders in the party, those that have allotted the affairs of this country with all sensibility, all sense of wisdom and all of that, they are still within the PDP. The likes of Professor Jerry Ghana and of them are coming out now to say that, look, this cannot happen. Wike has benefited from the People's Democratic Party. And probably because he didn't know the pains it took the leader to form this party. And that's why he feel that he can localize the interest of the party to the extent of destroying it. That's exactly what is on ground. And people are saying, no, this is not going to happen. The NEC had a meeting to stipulate the type of convention. At some point in time, Iron said that his signature was false and all of that. He could not prove that in court. So that's all manner of stuff to stop the convention and all of that. So the PDP has surmounted a series of challenges along the line and being the oldest political party in this country that has also ruled Nigeria for the longest duration. And I believe in the wisdom of all our leaders to be able to put the party on a strong footing again. And with the members and supporters and the generality of Nigeria who are seeing what is happening in the country right now, that where we are coming from is far, far better than where we are and where we may likely be if the PDP is not returned to power. So it is an effort by the PDP and entire Nigerians. That's exactly what we are saying because you don't need a social to tell you that what is happening in the Edo state right now and in the country, is better than
Okay.
where we are coming from in the days of the Post Democratic Party. So
All right.
it is a task now for everyone, and that is why the PDP is getting sympathy from all Nigerians to be able to get the footing. There's no fashion. I don't want you to use the word fashion. There's no more fashion in the PDP. We have a new ESCO right now. They should be allowed
Okay.
to function. So that's exactly the situation.
Okay, Honorable, good luck. Oh, sorry. Let me cut you there. Even when you people try to say there is no faction in the media, there is faction in the PDP. It is the language we use. Until you now reconcile and tell us there is no faction, we will now see everybody working together, sane. You know, law will tell you evidence that is cumulatively and that can be seen. So please, permit me for the course of this interview to use the word faction. Now, let me come to you, Honorable Esosai, where we're pressed for time, so let's manage the little time we have remaining before we wrap up this conversation. Now, do you foresee a formidable, a strong party again? Because growing up then as a very young child, you know, in the 2000, early 2000, mid 2000, we saw a PDP, a party that everybody have this, you know, ginger for, power to the people party and all that. Mm-hmm. But it seems like you guys, that power is no longer there. Do you foresee a unified PDP, both the Wike faction coming to the Turaki faction between now and 2027 to form a strong opposition, not just a strong opposition, a formidable opposition that can unseat the incumbent APC from the federal level?
Well, of course, the party is open to participatory democracy. The PDP is actually a participatory party. It's not a party that restricts membership and all of that. So the party is open. You know, it's the largest party in Africa and is situated across the country.
Is it still the largest as we speak?
Of the country. That is why you see it. Of course it is. Of course it is. It has to do with structure. When you say largest, it does not actually have, it's not all about size. And if you even talk about size, the party is the biggest in terms of size. In terms of ideology, the party is the biggest. In terms of open door policies, the party is the biggest. In terms of participation, the party is the biggest. Most of the people in APC today, apart from maybe the president and a few others, every other person in APC started from the PDP. And that is what I think that you know. So in terms of ideology, in terms of political ideologies and all of that, the party is best everywhere. So, and that is why you see that the Tinubu-led administration is hell-bent on destroying or disrupting the party, the structures of the party. But Nigerians have said no. Nigerians are now waking up. You saw what happened a few days ago in Abuja. Nigerians are now waking up. Democracy is about participatory. Democracy is about opening the doors for participatory politics. So the APC does not want to have any contest in the 2027 general election. It is either you are voting for APC or you are not voting at all, and that is not what it should be in contemporary democracy. So the PDP has come to stay. It is also open to discussion. It is open to getting back its members. It is open to getting back new members. And for members who were once PDP, who wish to return to the party, I think the party is always open. The arms are open to welcome them. So even if Wike wants to return to the party, I don't think the party will stop him, but he has to genuinely repent from what he's currently doing. He has to genuinely repent. Himself and those that are following him have to genuinely repent. And mind you, you know they have been expelled just a few days ago. So the party would have to sit down and discuss around that and see that and find a way to make possibly readmit them. In the absence, but where they do not genuinely repent, I don't think the party will be discussing in that direction of readmitting them.
Before I go to good luck before we wrap up the segment, let me ask you this. Your secretariat in Abuja has been barricaded. That's the Wadata Plaza. A lot of persons have come out to say there is Wahala in Wadata. But whether there is Wahala or not, you people will decide that. It's just like a man who is locked outside his house by his maybe domestic staff. That is what it seems like right now in PDP. Your secretariat has been barricaded. We saw security men all over the Wadata Plaza in Abuja. How would you guys gain access back to your house, which is the plaza? Mind you, that same plaza was at the point locked by that same Wike. I said the PDP did not pay ground rent to the FCDA. How did this new executive, like you claim, the Turaki factional executive, how do they gain access to be going to the secretariat to carry out their daily activities?
My brother, you see, Osifo, that's another big shame on our democracy, in our democracy. How do you lock up a party secretariat in a democracy? Party secretariats are venues where political parties meet to discuss the direction and the life of the party. And now you are locking it up because the party members and the new executive of the party did not let you have your way. You saw the melee you saw the brawl that took place 3 days ago, where Wike and its mayor were chased out of the party. You saw the former governor of, I think, Benue State, Autumn, I was chased out and ordered out of the party. Those are shameful for a man who has been a two-time governor, who has been a minister, who has been a local government chair, being ordered out of the party like that. It is a shame on their part. And I think if you want to register with the APC, to join the APC and allow the PDP to do their thing. The party secretariat being barricaded, I think that will be discussed, and those barricades will be removed, and the party will get back its secretariat, so that members will continue to hold their meetings in the secretariat. That is not an issue. It has happened before. We have seen it on several occasions, and we have seen that kind of situation on several occasions. And I think there is a way that the party always goes around that. Thank you, my brother.
Okay. All right, thank you very much, Honorable Esusa Ewere, for your time. But before we call it a wrap, good luck, Osaritin. Let me get your parting shots. Your advice to your party members, both those on the PDP's camp and those in the Turaki camp, before we call it a wrap on the show.
You know, when we are talking of camp, you are still repeating that. I think you are still trying to get it wrong. There is no more camp. You know, some people have been expelled from the party. You know, it happens that it's just like some people do not have shade. The camp of Anya owner like this, and not even truly happy that the party they came to own, so to say in quotes, that the headquarters is filled by Nigerian police. That is to even tell you that you yourself you are fighting against yourself. So we understand what is going to happen. Like what my honorable has just said, is that at the appointed time, that place will be reopened. And we should be happy. Nigerians are happy that this crisis is coming up now, not in a few months to election or just a year to election. You know, it is very important now that
we're pressed for time and we need to go. I really want to thank you, gentlemen, for being a part of the show this morning.